Hi everyone, it's Professor Nin here, and yay, we made it to the summary section. So this section will definitely talk summary, but I also like to have some concluding thoughts as well. So let's jump into it. So in summary, we've discussed four sections in this chapter. In the first section, we look at what is social stratification. Here in this section, we look at how social stratification systems are either closed or open. And in the U.S., we have an open system, and it's the class system. Here, people fall into classes based on wealth, power, and prestige. In the second section, we look at social stratification mobility in the U.S., which divides people into three classes, the upper, middle, and lower class. Social mobility is defined as a shift in one's class, and traits, class traits or class markers are the typical behaviors, customs, and norms that define each class. In the third section, we looked at global stratification and inequality around the world. Global stratification, as we already discussed, compares the wealth, economic stability, status, and power of countries as a whole by comparing metrics such as income, productivity, how long people live, and so on. In the fourth section, we look at theoretical perspectives on social stratifications. And we've done this in the past or in previous chapters already, and of course here we're doing it again by applying it to social stratification. So one of the perspectives is functionalism. So according to this perspective, system exists in society for good reasons, and this includes stratification as well. So they think stratification is healthy for society. Conflict theory disagree. They argue that stratification promotes inequality, such as between the rich business owners and poor workers. SI examines stratification from a micro-level perspective. They observe how social standing affects people's everyday interactions and how the concept of social class is constructed and maintained through everyday interactions. So, why is, this issue of inequality or stratification is so important for particularly Americans, right? And it's important because supposedly this is our ideal, right? It reflects our American dream that people should, regardless of which class they're born into, it is their own effort, their own merit that they can move up or even down, right? And that's why people work hard, right? And certainly there are real-life examples of people from humble origins that have climbed up the social ladder. The reality is that, we wonder if that opportunity, right, to move up is really accessible to every American equally, right? So there's this Horatio Alger myth, right, that obviously argues that it's very difficult, right, to become, from rags to riches, regardless, functionalists would say that this belief is functional, right? This American dream, right, is functional for society because it encourages people to compete for higher positions while placing the blame for failure squarely on the individual. On the other hand, right, Marx, who influenced conflict theorists, Weber, who influenced SI, they know that social class affects our ideas of life and our proper place in society. At the same time, the dominant ideology often blinds us to see these effects in our lives. And so here they're saying that, hey, stratification exists, and it holds us back from our ideal of, opening up the American dream to everyone, that if you work hard, you'll be able to achieve it. You earn it, then you can move up in society. Okay? So the issue that comes up is, with inequality, especially with regards to class inequality, is that, how much of an inequality is enough, right? Like, if an average worker make $1, how much more should we as society, think that CEOs should be paid? Is it $100 more, 100 times more, or is it 200 times more, or 300 times more? Again, if an average worker makes $1, an average worker here, we're talking about someone doing management work as well as engineering work, very skilled work that requires higher education. And to us, and average worker also includes, non-skilled workers as well as people doing menial tasks for a particular company, for example, right? So if an average worker make about $1, how much more should CEO make? Is $30 enough? $100 enough? $200? $300? Right? How much is enough? Right? How much inequality can we tolerate? So that way, everyone still can have the chances of you being motivated and see the opportunity to attain the American dream. Okay, so I'd like to conclude this chapter with this second part of Tammy's story. This is an update 12 years later compared to the first one that you saw earlier in this lecture. Highly encourage you to watch both of this video. Watch the other one first and then this one. So that in this, and I've also included this other video about the American Dream by Adams Ruins Everything. And finally, I also have a link to this website that's very interesting, a very good website that gives you a review of different topics covered in Introduction to Sociology course. So keep in mind, this website, the game on this website is not based on the materials covered in the book directly. However, the basic fundamental concepts are there. They're the same, regardless of which book you use. But there are some particular questions on this game that may not be relevant to the materials that you read in our book or even in our lecture video. Okay. All right. So that's it. I will see you in the next chapter.